Hi everyone, and my name is Endre from ESC Norway, and today I have Heidi with me.
Hello.
And today we are going to interview the amazing Gua. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
We're fine, thanks. Actually, it's pronounced Go A.
Go A.
Go A.
Yeah, right.
We know that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us a bit about the story about Go A? And
Yeah.
how did you meet, and for how long have you performed together?
Well, I'll try to put the long story short. We founded the band in back in 2012. So at first we were like a 6-piece band, so we had 6 musicians in a band, including myself and Kate. But since then, our musicians changed a few times. So right now we have me and Kate. So Kate is a lead singer. I am a keyboard percussion player, and sound producer of the band. And we also have Igor Didenchuk as a woodwinds and percussion player and a back vocalist. And we have Ivan Grigoryak. He is a guitar player for Go A.
And back vocalist in future.
Yeah, so maybe in future he will be our second back vocalist. Well, so our band is like almost 9 years old. So and yeah. So first, when we started to make this kind of music, it was a little bit rough for us because nobody understood what were we doing? I mean, with our music, because it was quite new for everybody, and it was like it was very difficult to find some venues to play live because nobody had an understanding where to put us. So we were like too soft for rock festivals, too folky, for dance festivals, not so authentic for folk festivals, and so on and so on and so on. So it was so for several years. Our life was like we had a concert in a certain venue. Some guy saw us and invited us to his concert or his festival, and so this is what was going on for a few years. And then we have several concerts. We had several concerts abroad in Europe and in Israel, and then we. Kate says that I'm talking too much. Okay. Okay, so so Kate says that we just gathered to make folk music combined with electronic music because it has it's resonated with our hearts, and we're doing it since then. So that's all.
Yes. And your music is quite special. If you should describe it to someone who had never heard it before, what would you say?
Oh, that's an interesting one. It depends on whether this person heard or didn't hear Ukrainian native music before. Well, as I have described, our music is a combination of Ukrainian native folk music and modern dance sound, modern dance music. So I think we can put it this way.
And last year you did win the Vidbir 2020 and was going to represent Ukraine in Eurovision, and then it was cancelled. And suddenly you got the chance to represent Ukraine again this year. Can you tell us about how the last year has been and the process of making Shum?
Sure. Well, the last year was, we tried. We were all forced to try something new. I mean, to have a new style of working process in the terms of lockdown and everything connected to that. But we had a lot of time to think everything over, to write new songs, to write new music, and actually, our song "Shum." We didn't, when we were in the process of writing it, we didn't think of this song as a song for Eurovision exactly. Yeah, so actually, we thought like, okay, the pandemic will be over soon, and we'll have live concerts and so on and so on. Well, actually, the song "Shum" is based on the Ukrainian native folk song and dance. And we wanted to do this song in order to do that folk dance on stage during our live shows. Yeah. And then we found out that the Shum has been selected as the song for Eurovision. So we needed to change it a little bit. So instead of just cutting it to 3 minutes, we thought that it would be a great idea just to rethink the whole idea of the song and to bring something new to the table. So we did like a second version. We call it Shum Episode 1 and Shum Episode 2. So and we think that our stage performance in Rotterdam will be Shum Episode 3. Yeah, so it's like a mini series for us.
Well, that's why you did revamp the song then.
Right.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yes. The lyrics are pretty special also. Can you tell us the story behind the lyrics, maybe?
Sure. Actually, we have different lyrics in first and second episodes of Shum. The first one is, Shum. Many people translate it as noise because the literal translation is noise, but actually it's not noise. Shum is the name of an ancient forest spirit our ancestors believed in. They believed that there were good forces and bad forces cannot be just ignored or eliminated or something. They had to be dealt with, and our ancestors thought that they should please those spirits in order to live with them in harmony. So the folk song called Shum, I mean the original one, our ancestors sing that song and dance that dance in order to please that forest spirit called Shum and to evoke spring. So because evocation of spring resembled evocation of life itself. That was the idea of our first episode 1, Shum. In episode 2, Kate rewrote the lyrics. The idea was, okay, we have summoned spring. Spring has already come, and right now it's the life has began again. And now it's a good chance to think about our future, to think about the future of our planet, of our nature, to see what we have done with it already, and to see what we can do to make it a better place in the future.
Message. Det du som ska ta nästa där, eller?
There are 2 different music videos for the first and the second version of the song. It's quite different. Why did you also revamp the videos?
Well, actually, when we were shooting, as I already said, we didn't think of this song as the song for Eurovision. So when we did the first video and released it, it was like just a release of an ordinary single with a music video. And we shot that video with a smartphone, actually. So we just had this idea to shoot a video. We had a smartphone. We called our friends, and we just went to a hill in Kiev to shoot it. We had like 3 hours of shooting because we depended on a daylight. Actually, it was very quickly, and we did it very quickly. And the idea was to show, I mean, our interpretation of the folk song, that even in our times of pandemic and COVID and all this situation, we still can gather for a common goal to do something good. And we wanted to show that in our video. And our second video was like a continuation of the story, as well as the lyrics of the second episode of Shum was a continuation of the first one. So, and the second video was shot specially for Eurovision.
Okay.
See, the second video seemed more like a post-apocalyptic, almost inspired by Mad Max or something.
Yeah, many people tell us that because of the vehicle that is in our video. Yeah, when we saw that vehicle, we thought of Mad Max too, actually. So we just, actually, in our second video, as I already said, we wanted to draw attention to, to current problems, current issues in our world. I mean, there were some shots of a Chernobyl nuclear plant and shots of a rare bird that is in the Ukrainian Red Book of Animals and Birds. So we wanted to draw attention to things that are vanishing from our planet, from our nature, and so because of people. And just we wanted to show that it's everything is in our hands, and we can change it for the better. So we can do everything to make the world a better place, but we have to do it together.
Yes, I wondered what the eagle has had, if it had some symbolic meaning, but you told us that it was a rare bird in your country. Yeah. So right. Then it was because of the rareness of the bird you wanted to bring it in and get the knowledge of it.
Yes, right. Yes. Actually, we were filming those shots with the bird in a bird sanctuary because we didn't want the bird to get stressed or something. So yeah.
Okay.
What do you want to communicate with your music?
Well, actually, our main idea, our main goal is to show Ukrainian music, Ukrainian folk music, and Ukrainian culture to the world. Actually, last year, when we have released our first song for Eurovision, I mean Soloway for Eurovision 2020, we had this comment on YouTube. A guy from UK, if I'm not mistaken, he said, "Thank you for not translating the song into English, because only because of your song I found out that in Ukrainian you have your own language and your own culture." And we thought about that, and we thought that it would be a good idea just to show our culture to Europe, maybe to the rest of the world, because very few people know about it.
Eurovision is a perfect stage to do exactly that.
So actually, we refer to ourselves, I mean, to our band, as representatives of Ukrainian culture. So, and our when we won at Vidbir last year, we thought of it not only like our victory. For us, it was like a victory of Ukrainian native music for Ukrainian culture.
Cool.
And in that Ukrainian music, especially, you use a lot of different instruments. In the song, there are a lot of flutes with different kind of flutes, and you use the drimba as the mouth harp, and that is that a real common instrument in the Ukrainian folk music?
The woodwind instrument, which is called sapilka, that we often use in our songs, is quite often used in Ukrainian folk music, actually. So it's one of main musical instruments in Ukrainian folk music. Regarding drimba, drimba is a juzarf. So it's this instrument is widely spread across Europe and Asia. in different kinds of this musical instrument, but still it's commonly used in Ukrainian folk music. But we have like slightly different folk songs and folk music styles in different regions of Ukraine. And drimba is often used in folk music originating from Carpathians.
Yes, the drimba is also often used in Norwegian folk music with the violins and such instruments also. So it's a known instrument to us Norwegians. So it was really exciting to hear that instrument in your song.
That's nice.
And Katarina, your way of singing, is it called white voice?
Ukrainian folk voice.
Well, actually, I don't know where this term came from, the white voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's, I mean, in our country, it's just called Ukrainian authentic vocals. Yeah, but somebody said about this term white voice, and everybody accepted that, so let it be white voice.
It was just a term created to that.
Maybe so.
Can you explain, and maybe if you want to, show us how you do it?
Що, this?
Що?
Перекласти?
Ну, типу, як я це делаю?
Як ти це робиш, а може щось заспіваєш?
Okay, I can sing in normal voice.
Yeah.
But my white voice, it's that I feel. And for example, яку пісню?
Яку завгодно.
Ну, наприклад, normal voice. Катюшечка, душечка. And white voice. Катюшечка, душечка.
Wow, cool. Thank you. It's really cool. Does it take a toll on your voice? Is it difficult to sing?
No.
Well, I can say from my part, besides Gaway, I work in the recording studio, and I often work with folk vocalists. And for many people who are trying to, learn this white voice technique, it's quite difficult for them. So they learn it for years and years. And for Kate, it was just natural to have this voice. It was so it was like in her blood or something.
Yes.
Perfect.
When I was a child, I hear my grandmother, and this voice дістався мені від неї.
So she thinks that she got this voice technique from her grandmother, because when she was a little child, her grandmother sang to her many songs in this kind of style. So she gathered with her friends and just sat there and sang some folk songs, and just took it for herself in a way.
That's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's nice to hear that it's something that came in your childhood. So it's a memory also, I guess. This year there are so many unique and talented artists in this Eurovision lineup, you included. If Go-A could choose a band or an artist to collaborate with, who would you choose and why?
You mean from this year's entries?
Yes, this year's entries.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Actually, it's very difficult to pick one.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of talented artists with great songs. And
Ще минулого року ми хотіли швейцарцем спілкувалися.
So last year we had the idea Kate had the idea to collaborate with John Steers, a guy from Switzerland.
Yeah.
So they had a chat, and they were talking about maybe doing a collaboration later, but it was last year. Well, what about this year? Well,
Хочу.
so,
Хочу.
well, she still wants to collaborate with John Steers, but of course we have our own favorites besides him. As I said, it's very difficult to pick one artist. So I think it would be a nice collaboration to do with the guy from Iceland, Daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy,
Oh.
yeah.
That could be really fun.
Yeah, so it's a guy with perfect sense of humor. Yeah, and I think his musical vision is very interesting. So I think it would be a nice collaboration.
Lithuania.
Yeah, Lithuania also.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
root. Yeah.
The roof, yes.
Yeah, like last week or maybe last week or a couple of weeks before, we had a live chat on Instagram with the group. So it was very fun. We're looking forward to meet them in Rotterdam if it would be possible, and it would also be a very nice collaboration. So again, difficult to pick one.
I watched that live stream you had with the group. It was a really funny live stream.
Okay, you can say so.
And Eurovision have a big history with a lot of music. So do you have any favorites from the Eurovision history?
Yeah, sure. Let me translate that. Питаються, чи є в нас якісь там якісь цікаві моменти, які ми запам'ятали з Євробачення, що нам подобалося. Ну, і, звичайно, вже скажу про те, що ми казали. Багато разів воно такі є.
Да.
Well, okay, so of course, so there were memorable moments about in 2004 and 2016. So the winning of Ruslana and Jamala, we were very excited, and of course, for us,
Верка Сердючка.
yeah, yeah, right.
Iconic.
Plus, one of the main things we saw at Eurovision, and it was actually it was in 2012. Lorene's Euphoria. It was one of our just favorite songs of all time in Eurovision. So, and we've been a big fans of Loreen since then.
Yeah.
So for us, Eurovision is a good way to. I think it's the best way to discover new artists and new songs.
Yes,
Absolutely.
It's the same for us. We discover music throughout Europe. As we in Norway would never have heard about Go Away if it hadn't been for Eurovision. So we are very happy for Eurovision to learn about new cultures and new artists and new kinds of singing, like Katarina's way.
We're very happy about it too, actually. Actually, what I wanted to say that it's difficult to treat Eurovision as a contest.
Yes.
With competitors, so and winning or losing and everything. So for us, it's more like a celebration of music, and so a lot of people ask us who we see as competitors, and we don't. So we just, I mean, how can you just compare two different songs in two different styles?
Yeah,
It's almost impossible. It depends on one's musical taste.
Yes, it's not contestants; it's future friends.
Right. Absolutely agree with you.
Yes. Can you tell us a fun fact about yourself? Something funny that almost no one knows.
Oh wow, it's quite difficult to do that. Є щось один якийсь факт, який бажано такий, якого ніхто не знає про нас.
Maybe Katarina can tell a fun fact about you, and you can tell a fun fact about her.
Oh, don't make me do this.
No.
Він може, коли я співала на концерті, мені в рот залетіла муха.
Okay, so once we were doing a live show, and it was like several years ago or something. And during that show, so Kate was singing, and a fly, a fly just flew into her mouth while she was singing.
No.
She breathed it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was very
It
hard.
was not funny.
No.
Calories. Okay, and regarding myself, що можна про мене такого?
Скажи, со стула упал.
Okay, so this one happened just, I think, a month ago. We had an interview, and during that interview, well, I don't know how it happened, but still, during the interview, just my chair just broke down, and I just fell on the floor. Yeah. Actually, this week I just asked if the interviewer could leave those shots in the interview, and actually she posted it on Twitter, and this video is on Twitter right now.
So it's going viral.
Like in movies.
That's really
so
fun.
Oh.
And at last, do you have a greeting to the Eurovision fans watching?
Of course we have. Of course we have. So actually, I can say it's one message. I think you already found out that I love to talk. Yeah, but still, well, actually. So our main message is just remember where you came from, remember your roots, because it's very important to remember who you are. So we are one world, we are people of the world, but still we are all unique, and it's much easier to see where you're going when you know where you came from. So I think it's critical for everybody. I just want to wish you and everybody watching this to remember the roots, remember that you are all unique, and of course be happy. It's very important, because when you're happy, you're treating everything around you differently. Like, so you can do so much for the world, for the world to be a better place, and of course stay safe. And vote for us.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today. Or Katarina, did you want to say something?
Щось хочеш сказати? Додати?
Yes, I want, but I cannot because my English is not perfect.
I see.
But I understand.
Wow. I think I tried to do a message for both of us.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
I don't know if it worked, but still.
It did work, yes.
But thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope you have a great evening, and we wish you all the best in Rotterdam in May. We are cheering from Norway.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
inviting us. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.